Okay, I call our agenda meeting to order. The invocation today will be by Joe Daugherty. Pledge of Allegiance by Vice Chairman Chris Gurley. The approval of the minutes, March 3rd, we'll need a motion for that. And the discussion of an adjustment of agenda.
Yes, sir. Got three items. Under special presentations, I'd like to add the 2026 Vietnam Veterans Day proclamation. And would anybody like to read that? Okay, if he's here, he's here. Then also we have a property purchase for the Nahunta Fire Department to be considered. That will go under consent agenda. I guess you got a handout in front of you. That would be under consent, and we'll go over it in a few minutes. And then the third item would be a public hearing, establish a public hearing on, for an agreement between the city of Goldsboro and the county of Wayne regarding Park East Industrial Park Lot number 6. And that would go under consent. That's for a public hearing on Tuesday, April 21st, 2026 at 9:15 a.m. Those are the only changes.
So under consent, we're gonna go with 14 being the Hunter Fire Department.
Yes. And then the next one would be a public hearing, establish a public hearing.
Okay, any other adjustments?
No other adjustments.
All right, under special presentations, we're going to have employees' anniversary pins, and then we'll have the Vietnam proclamation. At 9:15, we'll have a public hearing to receive comments on an economic development agreement between Wayne County and Wayne County Development Alliance to construct a 50,000 square foot shell building on Lot 6 in Park East Industrial Park. The board may take action following that public hearing.
So did the land deal fell through, or?
You're talking about the proposed purchase?
Yes.
They're still in negotiations. That's not finalized, but we're gonna move forward with this, today, while those negotiations are going on.
Okay, and then I'm going to recess the Board of Commissioners meeting and convene the Board of Adjustments meeting. And at that time, we'll have to swear in Commissioner DeMarco
Yes, sir.
and anyone else that would be speaking at the public hearing. I mean, at the Board of Adjustment, correct?
Yes, sir.
At the Board of Adjustment hearing, we'll have a public hearing to receive public comments on a setback variance request for property identified as tax parcel 3611086227, located at 752 Stony Creek Church Road. After that hearing and evidently some testimony,
Correct.
then the board may take action following the public hearing and any testimony.
That's correct.
Then I will adjourn the Board of Adjustments and reconvene the Board of Commissioners meeting. Under unfinished business is a motion to approve the amended and restated funding agreement for Rosewood Middle School and Rosewood Elementary School.
Yeah, we'll go over that at 9 o'clock.
Okay? Consent agenda, budget amendments.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll begin with budget amendment number 291. This budget amendment is from Veteran Services. The purpose of this budget amendment is to appropriate grant funds received from the North Carolina Department of Military and Veterans Affairs for $20,000. Number 293 is for the Wayne Executive Jetport.
Excuse me, let me go back to that one. You got that North Carolina DMV.
Department of Military and Veterans Affairs.
So
It's the
it sounds
same
like-
acronym.
Not motor vehicles.
Same, not motor vehicles, okay.
We usually like to put an "and" or something.
I know,
It'd be like very
We
confusing.
have limited characters in our
Okay,
county
I got you.
software.
Okay.
All right, good enough, thank you.
You're welcome. Number 293 is Wayne Executive Jetport. This is to realign the budget to pay for an increase in telephone lines. Number 295 is Services on Aging. The purpose of this budget amendment is to appropriate $4,896 in funds received from the North Carolina Department of Insurance for their Medicare improvements for patients and providers for the 25-26 fiscal year. This grant does not require a match. The next one is number 297 for the Board of Commissioners. This is to appropriate fund balance for outside professional services required by our legal department. Number 301 is also from Services on Aging. The purpose of this budget amendment is to add additional funds of $11,057 in HCCBG, which is the Home and Community Care Block Grant for fiscal year 25-26. This is an increase in their original funding. Number 304 is Services on Aging, and this is to appropriate donated funds that they have received this fiscal year. The final budget amendment is number 305, and this budget amendment is from Department of Social Services. This amendment is to realign their budget to pay for additional Medicaid transportation not anticipated at the original budget time. This is 100% reimbursed. That is all that I have.
Okay, and the next item is late present use value applications. And both, how many of these do we have?
Just two.
Two? And both of them have been vetted? Any questions on those? Next item is a motion to approve a lease of 224 Aviation Road and 236 Aviation Road located at the Wayne County Executive Jetport to Wayne Community College for a period not to exceed 10 years.
Good morning. This is the hangar and the classroom that we lease to the community college for their program, for their airport program. I will say, and I just noticed it, if you look on the lease that's in your materials, the Exhibit A that's included is not the right Exhibit A, so disregard that. But it is the classroom and the hangar. The Exhibit A is for the UNC hangar, so for some reason that got uploaded incorrectly. So we'll make sure that the right exhibit is attached. But it's a 10-year lease, 2 periods of 5 years, and it's after the 5 years, the community college has the option to renew it for an additional 5 years, and then there would be a 5% increase in the rent for the second term, so the second 5 years. And the rent right now is $5,130.45, and that's quarterly. That's paid quarterly. So that would begin April 1st, 2026.
That's for both parcels, correct?
That's for everything, for the classroom and for the hangar.
But the county funds the community college, is that correct?
Yes.
Partially? Okay. Just seemed like one hand's paying the other one.
That's probably what it's doing.
But our current lease actually has expired, so that's why we need to get another one in place.
Okay, any questions on that?
And I will get that exhibit fixed.
Great. Okay, the next item is a motion to adopt a resolution declaring surplus real property and approving the sale of surplus property located at 769 Genoa Road in Dudley.
And this is a previous tax foreclosure that somebody who frequently bids on our tax foreclosures put in an offer for. The offer was for $5,250. The tax value on it currently, in the most recent one, is $13,000. Previously, it was only $7,000. So if you all approve this, we will send the adjoining property owners letters notifying them how they can do an upset bid, and then we'll move forward with that process.
Okay, any questions on that? Okay, the next item is a motion to approve a utility easement to Duke Energy on Lot 1 of the Wayne County Business Campus.
And this is at our new, the Wayne County Business Campus. The last page is probably the best one. If you just scroll that, Kayla. So, lot 2, where that, building at, right there, that's the new ABC warehouse that's under construction right now. So they're in the process right now of trying to hook up power. Duke needs to go in there and lay all the, underground, lines to bring power to it. In order for them to do so, they have to cross over lot 1, which is what we own. So they're just asking for an easement, and this would serve future lots as well. So,
So they're putting in 2 cabinets, 1 pole.
that cabinet's already in there.
Or is it?
I went out there last week and they're digging in that area right now,
I got
so.
you.
Am I to understand is any additional utilities that would be made available, we would have to give an easement for those as well?
We would.
Rather
The
than-
only other one on this side would be the future lot that's just beyond
So
that.
how about the natural gas just across the road? Have we talked to anybody about, is the ABC, I mean, I would assume they're gonna need gas as well for heat in the warehouse.
We had, I'm sure WCDA has, but we have not ourselves. It was way back when the park was developed, they talked with the gas company, but I don't remember what was said.
But the easement part, I mean, they could pretty much go in the same space of easement. I mean, at one time they did, but I don't know about now. Do they still own Piedmont? Group?
I'm not,
I'm just
I think
asking.
they do,
I mean, because you
I'm not
keep
sure.
on, your easement's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're gonna,
I'm sure it can go in the same utility easement, I
Okay.
would think. There may be a separation requirement, but from power to some other,
Well, I would think the question would be, why wouldn't we just go ahead and establish a 5-foot, 10-foot, whatever easement for all utilities to have in the future?
because that's the only thing left is actually gas, because.
Well, you might want the internet.
That's true, yeah.
I can reach out to Jackson Builders, they're doing that, to see what discussions they've had. I assume that they're bringing the gas line to the new warehouse.
Well, what I'm getting at is, somebody needs to coordinate that. If you're not, you're gonna be right in the center, then your easement's gonna keep getting bigger.
Right.
You gotta have certain separation between, I would think power and gas would have a separation of some kind. All right, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, then a request to open RFA process for the fiscal year 27 opioid funding. Good morning.
The Wayne County Opioid Working Group met on March 5th to review opioid settlement funds, and it is a recommendation of that working group that we open the RFA process for fiscal year 26-27 at the pleasure of the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, any comments on that? Okay, then the next item is a motion to approve change order number 1 for the airfield drainage improvement phase 2 and appropriate budget amendment.
I think there was
This
some.
will be a 90% funded by grant funds.
Yes, sir. I think there was some additional, drain pipes that needed cleaning out, and I think maybe a replacement of one that added some cost to the, project to it.
Go to the breakdown of that 57,000. I think it's the
Yeah, there you
next.
go. It's, 52,632. Go back up, just, yeah, 57,290 is the total change order. If you'll go back up to the project description. No, you're not anywhere, that's different, but, yep,
That's it right now.
yeah. Change order includes wildlife covers for 2 42-inch pipes that run below a recently installed wildlife fence, temporary airfield lighting jumpers to keep the taxiway lights operational during installation of pipe under existing taxiways in 3 locations, and a clean out of 2 existing pipes running under the apron that have a large amount of sediment buildup inside the pipes. This is under our contract that was originally 1.8 million, and it's an additional 57,290.
And all of that is 90%
Paid
funded by
for with a
grants.
grant, yes, sir.
So we still got to come up 186,000.
Well, that was already agreed, coming up with an additional,
180 or whatever.
yeah, well, your share of the 57,290.
Okay, any comments or questions on that?
I do, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Why was this not addressed at the beginning of the
I guess it's
contract?
something they discovered on site once they are under construction. That project's been in construction. And it's something I guess they discovered or missed, during engineering.
Okay, any further questions or comments?
Who's the engineer on that?
Well,
Whatever they are now.
Altura,
There's a new name for it.
It's a new name.
Same guy there, right?
Altura is the name of it, but it used to be W.K. Dixon.
The same guy.
It's the same
Same
engineer
engineer.
that we've always had.
Okay, the next item, I'm sorry, we've got two items that were added on the consent. One was the Nahunta Fire Department, land acquisition.
So this is something, Brian Taylor reached out, and I think some of you may be aware of it, but under our current funding agreements with the volunteer fire departments, any land acquisitions has to come before the Board of Commissioners for approval. And there's a map that was included with it. Nahunta is looking to purchase 3 parcels. So on the map, it would be the 2 yellow parcels and then also the green parcel. And Brian Taylor, your fire marshal, has reviewed this and approved it, and he's got a memo that's attached to the map. But I think it's something that the fire department has been working on for quite some time. It's abandoned property that needs to be cleaned up, so it's always been in the works. They're just asking for permission to move forward. And then we do have representatives from the fire department here if you want to hear anything further.
Mr. Chair, Eddie Newcomb, our fire chief in Nahunta, contacted me, and I contacted Commissioner Foster. And we both went out and met with him, went over everything, and everything's good. So we asked him to come, him and Johnny to come this morning and to kind of explain something, if you need any explanation on, as we all know, fire trucks are getting larger, and they're landlocked between a cemetery and a blue line ditch. And so they have no room for expansion. And this will enhance the quality of fire equipment that they can purchase now, be able to get into the trucks. If you would like for
Has
it.
anybody got any questions or comments?
No,
I don't have
excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Also, I went with Eddie. This is also, if you're familiar with the old Nahunta School, that's
Right.
where this land is sitting. And so it's going to clean up that area and make it look a whole lot nicer through there because the whole school is about to fall down. Well, actually, it has fallen down. And so with them, purchasing the land and putting the new fire department, which they well deserve, because I think they're about one of the last ones that hasn't got a new fire department. Am I correct on that, Eddie?
If I may.
Yes.
We're still
Come right up here if you will.
Come up here, Eddie.
Come on, Johnny, come on with it. Johnny.
Thank you for listening to us on this. If I may, we are still operating out of the original building, built in 1959. Now, we've done 3 renovations over the years to expand, but we've grown as far as we can. We did a renovation in the early 70s, the early 80s, and one in the mid 90s. We have a blue line stream on one side and a cemetery on the other, and we are unable to grow with our community. As you know, our community is growing tremendously, and we just don't have the ability to grow there. It's hard to find land that puts you in a position where you can move a station without affecting your district lines and your coverage area. This puts us in direct, it's pretty much directly across the road. It doesn't affect any of our district lines or anything. It gives our fire department an opportunity to grow with our community, and on top of that, it cleans up an eyesore that's been plaguing us for 30 years.
So if I'm understanding correctly, the school is on this property.
That's correct.
It's on-
And so you're gonna have to demolish the school.
Yes, sir.
So that is definitely gonna clean up that
Yes, sir.
neighborhood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The school is on the yellow piece.
Right.
And then the red piece they already own. My understanding after speaking with Brian is the blue piece, they're working on some title issues, and I think you all plan to secure that as well.
And the
so.
green piece is the old teacherage
Everything else.
Well, good.
that they're gonna purchase as well.
Yes.
So it helps the neighborhood and helps the fire department, and it's a win-win all the way around.
Yes.
Sir. Great. Okay, any other comments or questions? Thank you for coming
Thank you
this
very
morning.
much.
Johnny, you wanna say something? Johnny's a man of few words.
A man of few words.
He's a wise man, he keeps you.
Okay. And our next item is a public hearing to be established.
So this is one, so you're gonna have a public hearing today on the economic development agreement between WCDA and the county. The other piece of Lot 6, if you recall, we have a annexation agreement in place with the city of Goldsboro, whereby certain parcels are exempt from annexation, but the city is still required to provide utilities. In exchange for that, we split the county taxes with them once they become due. So the original agreement was in May of 2024 that established everything. We did amend it in August of last year to accommodate the Pelson project, to add that parcel to it as well. So the only change in this amendment would be to just add Lot 6 to it. So pretty straightforward. I've been in touch with the city of Goldsboro. I let them know that we're gonna go ahead and establish a public hearing. So I'll work with them to make sure that that gets processed. But all it would just mean that Lot 6 applies to the same provisions. So the city would have to provide utilities, there'd be no annexation. We would split our property taxes, and then we would assume all planning and inspection authority for Lot 6 as well.
Mr. Chair, so this, we're pretty much, after this, we're out of lots, correct?
This is the last one that we own
At Parky.
at Parkeys.
So the next time, we just need to kinda include them all when we, on the front end, to try to.
Well, I will say, Pelson, we weren't quite sure what was going on with that. Lot 6, yes, that, the intent was for this to be included at the very beginning. I think we just, it's kind of an afterthought that we missed this one.
Spent a lot 7,
It was
7AD.
actually never subdivided until we subdivided it.
Right.
And it was part of Lot 7.
So that
Was a
part, okay.
bigger piece.
If you look at GIS right now, Lot 6 and Lot 7 are still
good.
one,
Okay,
because
gotcha.
there's a plat on record, but we've never subdivided
Recorded
it.
deed. And the map doesn't change until the plat, until the deed's
But
recorded.
the other one behind Hoshikawa, is that already in that same agreement or not? Okay.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. And if you call, we're under contract right
Right,
now
right,
for somebody
right,
to
right.
purchase that, so.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
And would the city have to have a public hearing on this as well?
Yeah.
It's my opinion that they would. That's how we did it when we did the first amendment, but.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay, next item is the new business, a motion to approve the proposed fiscal year 26-27 health insurance renewal.
I believe Angie,
We can wait till the 9. And after that, we'll have a county manager's report, board of commissioners, committee reports, closed session. We will have closed session.
Yes, sir.
Can we go in closed
We
session?
can go in now and get some of it done, yeah.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to go in closed session for.
That would be to consult with your attorney employed by the board to retain attorney-client privilege and for the protection of confidential competitive health care information under General Statute 131E-97.3.
Okay, if everyone would vote. Okay, and we're in closed session. Thank you. Okay, we're out of closed session and we'll take a 5-minute recess. Okay, I call our March 17th Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Commissioners are reminded of their duty to avoid conflict of interest consistent with state law and Wayne County policies. Any commissioner who has an actual or potential conflict of interest with respect to any matter on the agenda should disclose that conflict prior to the meeting. Our invocation today is by myself, so please bow our heads. Almighty God, we ask you to watch over Commissioner Williams today as he is in Wayne Memorial Hospital. Please heal him and return him to good health. We thank you for bringing us together today to serve the people of Wayne County. As we begin this meeting, we ask for your presence to guide our thoughts, our words, and our actions. Grant each commissioner wisdom and judgment to make decisions that will promote the good of the citizens of Wayne County. Bless our county, its leaders, employees, and our residents. Help us to lead with humility, listen with open hearts, and work together with mutual respect and understanding. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance today by Vice Chairman Gurley.
Face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I need a motion for approval of March 3rd minutes.
So moved?
All right, we have a motion. If you'll please vote.
Can't see
You
it,
didn't
Cal.
pop up? Okay. How would you like to vote, Dr. Demaco?
Okay, that passed unanimously. And we'll have discussion and any adjustment of the agenda.
Yes, sir. Three additions under special presentations. I'd like to add a 2026 Vietnam Veterans Day proclamation. Under the consent agenda, we'd like to add a consideration of property purchase for Nahunta Fire Department. And also, we would like to establish, the next item is establish a public hearing for the Board of Commissioners on Tuesday, April 21st, 2026 at 9:15 a.m. And that would be for an amendment to an existing economic development agreement between the city of Goldsboro and the county of Wayne. And again, that's April 21st, 2026 at 9:15 a.m. under the consent. That's all, sir.
Okay. So I need a motion to approve the adjusted agenda.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
All right, we have a motion. Please vote. Okay, that passed unanimously. Under special presentations, we'll have employee anniversary pins.
So we'll start out with our one-year pins and then go up. Whenever you guys received your gift, if you'll line up right here, we'll get a group picture at the end. So we will start with Cindy Pierre from Public Health Family Planning. Sean Adams, 911 Telecommunications. Kaya Burkhart, Animal Control. Hannah Williams, Cooperative Extension. Hannah Cantrell, EMS. Eric Storms, EMS. Dexter Howell, School Resource Officer. Denise Lewis, Public Health Maternity Care Project. Delandria McLaughlin from the Maxwell Center. Deja Akerson, Sheriff's Office. Davia Webb from the library. Caleb Griffin, Sheriff's Office. Brenda Juarez, Public Health Maternity Care Project. Austin Howard, Fleet Management. Andrew Oliver, EMS. And Amanda Drake, Inspections. All right, we'll move on to our 5-year pins. That'll be Patricia Casey, Detention Center. Maya Gonzalez, Sheriff's Office. Joseph Brown, Public Health Child Services. Jeff Guerin, Sheriff's Office. James Pittman, Sheriff's Office. David Evans, Sheriff's Office. And Cindy Mitchell from Facility Services. All right, moving on to our 10-year pins. Nikisha Newkirk, Human Resources. Mark Loveday, Jetport. Latoya Boone, Detention Center. Kenneth Dupree, Sheriff's Office. Denise Cowan, Public Health Maternity Care Project. And for our 15-year pin, we have Amy Walston from the Sheriff's Office. I don't think she's here. All right, moving on to 20 years. Maria Neal, Public Health, Family Planning. John Beeman, Detention Center. Charles Faison, Detention Center. Ashley Tillman, Environmental Health. And for 30 years of service, we have Kevin Whitley from Environmental Health.
You must have started when you were 5 years old.
If you guys will kind of make 2 lines, that way you can get everybody in the picture.
Shorter people up front,
Yep.
taller people in the back.
There you go.
And then if you'll look up at that camera with the red light on, our guys in the back will get a picture. All right. Everybody got it? All right, you guys are good to go. Thank you so much for coming.
Kevin's been there for 30 years.
Do you want to read the Vietnam Veterans Day proclamation?
No, we're gonna let you read it.
Oh,
How about that?
you want me to walk over there?
Absolutely.
Is that Bob to go to Chevy Smith?
I'll send it email. Yeah, I told her to roll through them, and she did.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is the 2026 Vietnam Veterans Day Proclamation.
Good morning. I'm going to read this on behalf of Mr. Brian Volk. He is not here today. So it says, whereas 2026 represents the 53rd anniversary of the end of the American involvement in the Vietnam conflict, and whereas 2026 marks the 61st anniversary of the start of the ground campaign in Vietnam when President Lyndon Johnson authorized the landing of the 9th Marine Expeditionary Brigade to defend the Da Nang Air Base in South Vietnam. And whereas thousands of brave Americans served our country in this conflict with courage, honor, and valor, and whereas more than 58,000 individuals made the ultimate sacrifice in Vietnam and more than 300,000 more were wounded in combat, and whereas 1,626 Americans are still missing and unaccounted for from the Vietnam conflict, and their families, friends, and fellow veterans still endure uncertainty concerning their fate. And whereas in 1982, the Vietnam War Memorial was dedicated to commemorate those members of the United States Armed Forces who died or were missing in action in Vietnam. And whereas the Vietnam War was an issue among the people of the United States, so that the crossfire of public debate about the involvement of the United States in the Vietnam War deprived many members of the United States Armed Forces who served bravely and faithfully for the United States during the Vietnam War of the support and appreciation for their service to our country. And whereas President Donald J. Trump signed the Vietnam War Veterans Recognition Act of 2017 on March 28, 2017, to officially recognize March 29th as Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans Day, and encourage the people of the United States to observe this day with appropriate ceremonies and activities to promote awareness of the contributions of veterans who served in the United States Armed Forces in Vietnam, and the importance of helping such veterans readjust to civilian life. Now therefore, the Wayne County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim March 29, 2026 as Vietnam Veterans Day in Wayne County, and urges all citizens to join in this special observance and take the opportunity to honor and thank our Vietnam veterans for all they have given in their service to our country. Adopted this day, the 17th day of March 2026.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 Vietnam Veterans Day proclamation.
Okay, any discussion on the motion? Not, please vote.
Hold on.
Go. Okay, that passed unanimously. All right, our next item on our agenda is a public hearing. So I am going to bring about a public hearing to receive public comments on an economic development agreement between Wayne County and the Wayne County Development Alliance, Inc. to construct a 50,000 square foot shell building on Lot 6 in Park East Industrial Park.
And so I'll give a little overview before
Please.
anybody speaks on it. So this is the last remaining lot at Park East that we need to develop. So it adjoins Lot 7 if you're going down Challen Court, and then there's the cul-de-sac. It's kind of over to your left. It's about 11 acres, is that right? 13 acres. And so what we have proposed is similar to what we've done on other lots within the park, that we would enter into an agreement for WCDA to develop that property. So they have an estimate right now to build a 50,000 square foot building at approximately $3.5 million. So that includes clearing, grubbing the existing property, and then construction of the 50,000 square foot building. Additionally, there would be area in the back for any industry to expand that. So for another 50,000 square feet, so it could technically hold up to 100,000 square feet. So under the terms of this agreement, Wayne County would deed the lot over to WCDA. They would enter into a contract with the contractor. And then Wayne County, out of the proceeds of 404 and 408 Gateway Drive, which is the Pelson property, we would use those proceeds to contribute to WCDA for this project. That Pelson property is supposed to close by the end of this month, so we should be receiving those funds soon. So WCDA would oversee construction of it. They would market it to existing industry. And similar to what we did for Pelson, what we were going to do for Lot 7 before we found an owner on it. I will just note to the board, we have been contacted by a potential buyer for Lot 6. That's currently in negotiation. It's unclear whether or not they would want the shell building to be constructed or if they would just want the property. So if that were to materialize, similar to what we did for Lot 7, you all would just vote to terminate this agreement, and then we could move forward with selling that property if they didn't want us to, or WCDA to build that square foot, or that 50,000 square foot building.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak?
No, sir.
I will point out there is a provision, the final price has to be consented to by the Board of Commissioners before it can be sold. So WCDA could not sell this without coming to you for you all to approve the purchase price.
Absolutely. Land price too. What? The land price too. The land price
total.
too.
Total
Total,
price,
okay.
total price.
Okay, since there's no one here to speak, I hereby close the public hearing. The board may take action.
Mr. Chair, I
Yes.
move that we approve the economic development agreement between us and the Wayne County Development Alliance.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, please vote. That passed 5-1. Okay, we are recessing the Board of Commissioners meeting at this time, and we are convening the Board of Adjustment. The Board of Adjustment is having a public hearing this morning to receive public comment on a setback variance request for a property identified as tax parcel 36110-86227, located at 752 Stony Creek Church Road.
Mr. Chair, I will need Commissioner DeMonico to take the oath for Board of Adjustment.
Okay,
If you will repeat after me.
There's a Bible up there.
I got
Okay,
one.
you got it. I state your name.
I, Joe Demaco,
Do solemnly swear that I will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States.
slow that down.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly
that
swear
I will support and maintain
that I will support and maintain
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
and the Constitution and laws of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office as a member of the Board of Adjustment
the duties of my office as a member of the Board of Adjustments
for the County of Wayne, so help me God.
for the County of Wayne, so help me God.
All right, and I state your name.
I, Joe Demaco,
Do swear that I will well and truly execute
that I will well and truly execute
the duties of the office as a member of the Board of Adjustment,
duties of the board
office
office
as a
of
member of the Board of Adjustment
members of the Board of Adjustments
for the County of Wayne,
for the County of Wayne,
according to the best of my skills and ability,
according to the best of my skills and ability,
according to the law, so help me God.
according to the law, so help me God.
Perfect.
now, may I say this on a personal note? We're just breaking you in because we only required them to read it, and we said, I do. But we made you repeat it.
I can't even hear it.
Go ahead.
Terrible picking.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Barry,
You got it.
And we have two members that have signed up to speak, so I will swear them all in at the same
Oh,
time.
please do. Please get everybody sworn in.
Do we need to get,
they can use the same one.
okay,
Y'all can just use the same Bible.
okay. So I'm just gonna read it and then you guys can say yes or no. It says, do you swear or affirm that the evidence you shall give to the board in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Well, you should have made them turn and repeat all of that.
That was shorter.
Go ahead.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
This is a Board of Adjustment meeting for a variance request for Stony Creek Church out at 752 Stony Creek Church Road. This is a public hearing, so we have advertised this. We posted a sign at the road advertising the public hearing. We've sent notices to adjacent property owners as well. For this, Stony Creek Church is looking to build new construction where the current sanctuary is. You see that location on the screen. You kind of see the, well,
Sorry, Barry.
you're fine. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. That's the new sanctuary there. And so there's a little bit of constraint. The church can't build further back because of the fellowship hall that's behind the church to the, well, I guess south side or the right side of the sanctuary is a existing building, and then a graveyard or cemetery beside of that. And then to the other side, the left or the north, would be existing parking. So they're limited in space and where they can move that. And so they're asking to go about 20 feet into the setback. So the current setback requirement is 60 feet. And so they're asking to build 40 feet off the road right-of-way instead of the 60. So it's a 20-foot variance request from the church. This has been to the planning board. Planning board did look at it and did make a recommendation for approval as well. Today, we have Brian Jones and Pastor Josh Whitfield here representing the church. If you have any questions for them, I'm sure they'll be glad to answer those as well.
Are there any questions?
It's a good thing, got a growing church, so.
I did want to mention really quick too, I do have a letter from Gerald Ray, who owns the property across the street, the multifamily across the street, and he says that in order for the church to build a new sanctuary, we support the 40-foot from the road. Him and his wife signed that, so,
Good. Anything further?
no, sir.
Okay, is there anyone else to speak?
Oh,
Since they signed up.
oh, they get to speak.
Would y'all like to speak?
Give a preacher a microphone.
There you
He'll like to speak.
Not like a politician.
Absolutely, never turn it down. Thank you, board, for hearing this, and relaxing that easement from 60 feet to 40 feet will allow us to build a sanctuary to our needs for growing congregation and avoid some maybe undue hardship encroaching on our other buildings. So we'd like to keep the size of the sanctuary, but still situate it within the campus and be good stewards of the land we have, as we can't go in pretty much any direction other than where we have located the sanctuary currently. So this would be a blessing, not only today, but for future generations of worshipers there on that corner. So thank you for hearing us.
Anything further? Okay, hereby close our public hearing.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I make a motion that we grant setback variance to Stony Creek Church for the construction of their new sanctuary.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. And it's unanimous. Go Bill.
Mr. Will would be proud.
Okay, I hereby adjourn our Board of Adjustment. I reconvene now our Commissioners' meeting. Under unfinished business, a motion to approve the amended and restated funding agreement for Rosewood Middle School and Rosewood Elementary School. Mr. Council.
So if you recall, in October of 2024, seems like a while ago now, there was an original funding agreement between the Board of Commissioners and the school board about Rosewood Middle School. At that time, they were in the initial stages of design for Rosewood Middle. So everything in that agreement was based off an estimate. Since then, in addition to the original SCIF grants that we received, the state capital improvement fund grant that we received through the state budget, we received another $4.1 million that was not addressed in the original funding agreement. And perhaps most importantly is throughout the design process of Rosewood Middle School, it was determined that you all, or the parties would not do the addition at Rosewood Middle, but instead leave that open for right now, and instead we would shift over to Rosewood Elementary School to add a wing to it. And the purpose of that was to maintain a K-5 flow at the elementary school and the feeder pattern to Rosewood Middle. We've gone through, received all the bids, calculated all the bids, including design. We've gone to the LGC and gotten approval. We're actually closing on those funds tomorrow. So the only remaining piece, and it's more kind of housekeeping at this point, is we need to go back and amend that original agreement to accommodate what actually has happened now. Because the original agreement didn't even mention Rosewood Elementary School. So the total combined cost of the projects are $43,391,101.10. So what the agreement calls for is approximately $29.4 million in SCIF grants would go to Rosewood Middle School, along with any interest. And there's no discretion on that because the state said that it had to go to that project. And any interest that we accrued that has to also go towards that project. Additionally, if you recall, we had installment financing agreement funds left over from a 2020 borrowing and 2022 borrowing. That's $4.1 million. The LGC had previously given us permission to use that towards Rosewood Middle School. So the agreement calls for those funds to be used for that purpose. And then the balance of the construction, it says that the county will either use PAYGO funding or borrowing, which we're borrowing, for the remainder of that project. So it just lays out those funding requirements. It states that if, at this point, if there's anything over what's been approved, and it would really only be for the elementary school project at this point, anything that's not approved would have to be agreed upon by both boards. Rosewood Middle School is being used for collateral for the financing, so the county would retain ownership until the debt is all paid off. Rosewood Elementary School, we're not using for collateral, but we still need to own that property during the course of construction for sales tax purposes, because we don't pay sales tax. So during the course of construction, the agreement calls that the school board would convey that over to us so we can realize those savings. And the board of, and then the last piece is the Board of Education acts as the agent for the county during the course of these projects. So it really just encompasses what already is going on right now, but we just needed to get a formal document together to address those changes.
Okay. Any questions?
Mr. Chair, Andrew, you know if they've actually got approval of the driveway permit off of Rosewood Road?
I do not know. I need to follow up with the school board attorney about the easements, construction easements for Rosewood Middle School, so I will bring that up with them as well.
Reason being is that could add more design work to it, if not.
It could.
And they had, as of the last meeting, they had not reached out to DOT. but-
And I believe the reason why for that separate entrance is they're gonna relocate some of the exceptional children over, and
It's got a-
a separate entrance accommodates those needs a
It's
little
got a
bit.
parking lot attached to that drawing, so, okay, thanks, sir.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
The only other thing, if we could add to the motion to approve pending final approval by the county attorney, only because this has not gone to the school board yet. It was supposed to go to their facilities committee yesterday, but school was canceled due to the weather. So if we can just make it, there may be one or two minor changes that they want, if we can just make it subject to county attorney approval.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chair, subject to county attorney approval.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, please vote. That vote is unanimous. Okay, we're now moving to our consent agenda with the addition of item 14 and 15, the Hunter Fire property as well as the public hearing. Do I hear a motion for approval of consent?
So moved.
All right, we've got a motion to approve. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, if you please vote. That passed 5-1. Under new business, we have a motion to approve the proposed fiscal year 26-27 health insurance renewal. And who is going to be presenting that?
Good morning.
Thank you.
Included in your packet was a letter, and I will briefly review that with you and answer any questions you might have. As we approach our open enrollment at the end of April, that is for our insurance and benefits open enrollment, we are requesting your approval now to ensure that we can finalize our benefit offerings, communicate the changes to employees, and incorporate these adjustments in the upcoming budget proposal. So for the past 5 years, we have worked diligently to maintain stable health insurance premiums thanks to proactive strategies, including an on-site health nurse, wellness programs, and effectively monitoring of claims and health trends with our consultant, Mark III. So he has been walking us through every step of this. These efforts have played a key role in helping us avoid large, unexpected cost increases while continuing to provide solid benefits to our employees. However, after reviewing the current claims experience and projected medical cost trends, our consultant, Mark III, has recommended that we increase our premiums by 8% to ensure the long-term sustainability of our self-funded health insurance plan. To offset this increase and continue to balance the financial needs of both the county and our employees, we are proposing two key changes effective July 1st, 2026. Employees who are enrolled in health insurance coverage would contribute $50 per month toward their premiums, which would be deducted twice per month at $25 per paycheck. The county's contribution to the health plan would also increase by $50 per month per employee. We believe that this solution is a balance between fiscal responsibility and maintaining a competitive benefits package. The increase in both the employee and the county contributions would maintain a long-term viable health insurance plan, prevent larger increases in future years, and ensure that we continue to offer robust benefits to recruit and retain employees. So we respectfully ask that you approve the 8% premium increase along with the $50 per month employee contribution for those enrolled in health insurance and the $50 increase in the county's contribution. This would allow us to proceed with our open enrollment at the end of April.
Yes.
Chairman, I got a, so this applies to all employees in the county, correct?
This applies to those employees that are enrolled in health insurance. We do have those that opt out who receive an annual benefit payment of $1,500 in June. And we also have those that are non-benefited that do not participate in our plan. This is based on an enrollment of about 800 employees.
All right, so let me rephrase that. So it does not, doesn't, it's not for people to get hired after July 1st of 2026. It's for the existing employees that actually currently have health insurance.
Existing and those that could be, for the existing employees, yes, and those that get hired on July 1st and after.
Okay, so when was it the year that you didn't get health insurance? After X year, what, is it 11?
2011.
2011, so.
After retirement.
Do I now? After retirement, right. So,
25 years of continual service.
right, so from there forward,
No, I'm sorry, that's 2009.
whichever, but either way, so from there forward, the people were hired with the presumption of their health insurance being paid in full, correct? Is that,
Yes, sir.
so how, I mean, how do you go about, I guess I don't know if this is the right way to put it, taking a partial benefit away, or the increasing the cost on somebody?
The benefits have always, on health insurance, there's not just a monetary, but sometimes the deductibles and other things, coverage in the insurance has been changed to keep the cost down as it rises.
Okay.
I think, excuse me, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the wording of that is that they would be covered under our insurance, our self-insurance coverage. But I don't think it would state that they are not.
Are you talking about to the retirees?
Yes, retirees.
No, I'm talking about to the
He's
current
talking about
employees.
current employees.
Oh, I thought you were talking
No,
about
I'm talking about the current employees.
current employees.
Yeah, the current employees after the date that they get their health insurance. They were hired under the assumption that basically you're not gonna get health insurance after you retire, but we're gonna pay for it, you know, from day one till you, whatever. That's the question I'm asking. How do we go about changing the rules in the middle of the game? Next thing, that's just something to ponder on. Next thing is, you said $25, you said $50 a month, but it's 26 paychecks now. You said every pay $25 out of each paycheck, so that's $650.
We only deduct benefits twice per month.
Okay, so $600 is what you're saying.
So if there's an
year.
extra paycheck,
It doesn't
There's no
come.
deductions
Okay,
in that.
so
in
it's
that third
$600 a year. Okay. All right, now this is the one, I don't know how to, exactly how to, state it. I've had this discussion with a couple of directors. $600 probably won't, affect them as much, but some that don't make as much, it could be, it could affect them. I've got an issue with that.
Me too.
I mean, I'm just saying, I understand the part that it cost keeps going up, and the county has got an obligation, you know, but, and we're trying to lessen the load on the county, but at the same time, it's some people we could be putting a burden on. $600 don't sound like a lot to some people, but it could be life-changing to some. That's just Chris's opinion, and I, you know, and therefore, you know, I plan on voting against it, just because of that. I mean, I think we need to take consideration that, you know, our employees, sometimes I think we take our employees for granted.
If I may speak up towards that, so in prior years, when Mark III has ever recommended an increase, that increase has hit the employees across the board. So if we were to have moved further forward today, as we have in the past, there would have been an 8% increase across the board on the employee coverage as well as all of their dependent coverages. So we looked at this in a way that would impact the employees the least possible way, and to continue the funding and the strength of our self-insured plan. This was recommended by Mark III, and to be honest, he considered this an excellent renewal based on those other ones around us that looked at 20 and 30% increases. He has had us on a path that kept us very strong and was able to withstand those huge claims. For those that have your dependent coverage plans, your child only, your multiple children, your spouse, your family coverage, they will be hit harder if you go with the 8% across the board as we have done in the past.
And if I could inquire also what neighboring counties have implemented, this has also been implemented in some of our other counties, is that correct or not?
They have a significant presence in North Carolina. I can't tell you off the top of my head the counties. I'm happy to get that information. I don't know if Ginger knows off the top of their head. More and more people have gone with Mark III, but, I mean, everyone's area is dependent on the programs that we offer. We have programs that are tailored just for Wayne County. We have diabetes, we have weight management, we have wellness programs, on-site nurse. Not every county has that, but he has guided us slowly towards equalizing our increases over the year. Last year, we had a 9% increase. We only changed our premiums by 5% last year. And we're still at a 9% increase this year. That's wonderful.
So, on the, sorry, Jennifer, you want to go ahead?
I'll just say briefly, our HR department does a comprehensive salary study every year on a third of our departments. Part of that study is looking at benefits at our counties that we measure ourselves against, the counties that are same in size, demographic, income. Of our 10 counties, Johnson County was the only county that still pays 100% of employee-only insurance. All of our basis counties have employees paying some portion of their premium.
And that was the point I was trying to make, and that is, this is not unique here to Wayne County. Other counties have recognized this is a real issue. The cost of insurance is a big factor here. And other counties have, in prior years, already implemented a participation of the employee actually paying a portion of that insurance coverage.
Do you know if Johnston County pays their health insurance after people retire? Do you know?
I don't know.
You don't know that?
Quick question. You said, so the $50 a month, you said how many
How many employees are there total that's paying, that have to pay this $50, extra
The
$50?
last month, we had 813, so it varies from month to month, from anywhere from, say, 790 through 813, 815.
We talking maybe $500,000 a year?
We needed we needed $1 million. We needed to come up right at $1 million to fund our health plan above what we did last year for the upcoming year. So this is how the premiums were structured to come up with the million.
So, you know,
Oh, no, you go ahead, you go ahead.
so on the 8% part, on the family, I mean, do you have an idea of what a family increase, what that would
Do you
be?
want the current amount for a family plan? So we offer PPO and we offer HSA. So the HSA is $652 a month that the employee pays. That's on the HSA side. If they're on the PPO plan, that's $752 a month currently.
Right. So you got an 8% on that, it's gonna be about $60, $59, something like that. Is that what I'm looking at?
So the PPO would go up from $752 to $812. The HSA would go up from $652 to $704. So you had a $60 difference on the PPO and you had a $52 difference on the HSA.
Plus the 25 or $50 a month.
No,
So it's either or.
Yeah, that's the
you
family
can
plan.
structure it however you want to. We're proposing you structure it by charging $50 on the employee and $50 on the county.
So not 8% then.
It's 8%. That proposal provides us an 8% increase. If you want to
So you
go-
say split it between the 8% between, okay, so it's not, okay, not both. It still comes out basically, we're paying half and the employees are paying half.
Correct.
I mean, I look at it like this. I've spoken several times on this, and I'm gonna say it again. We can easily lose $1 million at the Maxwell Center. And easily lose $1 million a year at the Jetport. We can't find the money for our employees for health insurance right now. I have a problem with that. It's just a fact. And the fact that we are sitting here even discussing this so hard when we don't discuss those matters, we're trying to, within our budget, to figure out how to cut things to save that money at the end of the day. But we're sitting here trying to discuss how to save money on health insurance that our employees need. That's a sad situation for me. So I'm definitely against it.
Mr. Chairman, can I make one comment? Our personnel policy right now makes the medical coverage subject to change. So specifically, it's our plan or our policy says, subject to budget appropriations, the county will provide medical insurance to all full-time employees. There's nothing that ever stated that it would always be 100% paid. I just want to clarify that, so when people are hired, they know that the policy is subject to change year to year.
It does, and it changes
Right,
every year.
right, right.
The cost of insurance is not gonna go down. Well, with that in mind, do I have a motion to approve the health insurance renewal?
Mr. Chair, may I make a comment?
Sure.
I just want to make sure I understand this, Ms. Angie. So in 25-26, our annual cost was $9,753,000. And then we've basically increased $1 million in a year. Is that? That's 1 year. So would we anticipate that next year we would increase another $1 million?
Good chance.
So in 10 years from now, we'll be paying $20 to $21 million potentially for health insurance. I think we have a problem. And I'm not pointing this at us. I thank you for everything y'all have done, because I know, and I agree, I think there's a lot of agreement here on this board when we look at trying to help our employees, and I appreciate everything that you have done behind the scenes, because I really, truly know that you are really trying your best to figure out how not to pass this increase on to our employees. And we've had this conversation a little bit before about insurance. We have got to figure something out. It's not us, potentially, when it comes to the cost of health insurance in this country, because this is just continuing. And this makes it even more of something that has me concerned when it comes to our General Assembly and our legislatures looking at limiting our ability as a county when it comes to property tax and those ways to generate revenue. And I know that is not a fun word when we think about taxes and things like that, but if this is something that continues to increase, we only have so many ways to generate revenue and continue to fund those things that are mandated upon us by the state of North Carolina. And I think Commissioner Foster has a good point that at some point, if this is a priority for us, I think where he was going is this is a priority for us to continue to fund this. We're really gonna have to look at our budget and really look really tight if the priority is going to be to do everything we can for our employees, because I know we value our employees, there's no doubt about that. It's looking at our budget and what we can do, but this is I think I've said this before, as we look at health insurance across our country and what is, in 5 years, are you looking at another $5 million, and we're having a discussion about a $16 million. I also think, I'm still somewhat relatively new. At what point does Mark III come to us to justify $1 million increase? Like, at what point can I ask these people, can you tell me and help me understand why this is going up $1 million? Is that
He has provided that information to us.
right?
We've had three meetings with him to try to come up with a solution for next year. And this increase was mainly due to claims.
Claims drive it, the cost of
Right.
healthcare insurance drives it. This is a very good renewal, actually. Lots of private or, publicly purchased plans are in the 20+% increase this year.
Right.
So, you're always combating cost, versus reward. When I came to work here, you had $100 deductible. Then that went to a $250, then that went to $500, then that went, So your healthcare coverage always took a hit financially to you, to me. May not been in, as part of a copay, but, the insurance was not quite as good as it once was. And that's a theme across the nation, and that's just something you have to struggle with and make a decision, just like Commissioner Foster. Is it important to you, what stand do you want to take? We're asking for this now because we have open enrollment, and those people have to make their decisions on open enrollment prior to our budget being adopted.
And if we,
But we'll do as directed.
right, and if we do not approve this proposal currently, staying with Mark III, then we're going to have $1 million increase at what date? Starting
July 1
July 1.
will be $1 million increase on health
So
insurance.
basically, this proposal is saying out of that $1 million increase, $480,000 will come out of the pocket of our employee, and then we'll cover the rest.
Correct.
So basically, it's gonna cost us $500,000.
Well,
Or
$1 million or $500,000. It's gonna cost $1 million regardless. It's just-
I think it also needs to be brought up in regards to what average families in the public sector, private sector are facing. I mean, I've heard a number of my friends that have been hit with premiums that amount to $30,000 a year just for hospitalization insurance. I think the question that we also would need to find out, and that is, what is the per employee cost to participate in the state plan? What is that cost? Because a lot of municipalities and counties are actually participating with the state plan. And I think that is much higher than what we're paying. I do not know right offhand.
They're experiencing an over 20%. I don't know exactly, but it's over 20% increase this year. That's what they're looking at.
So comparatively speaking, let me say that in some way, Wayne County has done an excellent job of managing our own in-house insurance coverage. So how do you go about that? At some point, employees are in Wayne County are going to have to face with contributing some toward their health insurance. That's the writings on the wall. I mean, it's happening all across the state of North Carolina, all across the nation. It's just happening. Now, whether or not we want to do that at this point, that's an open question. Whether or not we want to go ahead and implement they're recommending in the alternative an 8% increase, am I correct? So if this motion fails, then we would have to go back to an 8% across the board. Am I correct?
The county would cover the entire.
That's correct.
That's your option.
It is.
And Angie said this in her memo, but to be clear, this doesn't change the level of insurance at all. So the deductibles, everything is the same.
Coverage is the same.
The other option, which they have not looked at, is to reduce the coverage of the insurance plan.
So that's right, increase the
Because a lot of
deductible, which every
employers-
other insurance company's doing, they increase the deductible.
You either decrease the value to avoid the contribution, or it's, which way you wanna go, but the way that they've looked at it, it maintains the current level of coverage. So,
What is the deductible now, Angie?
1,500.
15?
And I will add a plug too, we offer the health savings account, the HSA plan.
Yeah. Which
And
pays
the
for that?
county gives the employee the $1,500 in an HSA account that earns interest, that helps them to pay their deductible.
And we're gonna continue to do that regardless, correct?
Correct.
I mean, I get, you can't differentiate between the people that, I'm just director pay and somebody that just gets hired, at a lower amount. I get that. But my problem is the ones that it don't sound like a lot, but $600 could be a life-changing thing to some people. Just saying.
Agreed.
I ain't saying that when I'm, that I got an issue with that.
What if we increased the deductible from 15 to 2,000? What would that do?
Now, I don't know that would even be possible at this point in the process. That would involve Mark III reaching out to Blue Cross Blue Shield and renegotiating our contract. So if that's something you're interested in, we'll be happy to look at it for next year.
That's still affecting the end user though. I mean,
If you, well, yeah, but
I mean,
everybody don't use it all the time.
but still, it's still affecting the end user.
But you have the health savings.
I will say this, let me just add, if I don't mind, Mr. Chair. This county the commissioners have been very gracious in studying the pay. Every year, you're addressing 33% of the departments, and you've made their pay very competitive in an open market, and the pays have gone up. So there's other areas where the employee has benefited from, that's, a lot of counties, they don't get that. In fact, I don't know of another county that does that. And that's much appreciated because it helps make us more competitive in hiring people versus, say, a minor contribution to your health insurance.
This is one of those times that it's tough being a commissioner. We realize there's a real issue before us. What is the pleasure of the board? Do we table this and bring it back in 2 weeks?
You can table it if you would like.
For further discussion and getting more information? Or do we have any motion on this matter?
I think we pretty much got the information.
Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, if I may have a question. As far as, Ms. Angie, the benefits that we offer, like with Mark III, and however they negotiated with Blue Cross, if we were interested in kind of like what Commissioner Aycock was saying, at looking at the benefits we offer, at what point during the year would we ask Mark III to come back and have those discussions with us? Right, to give them time to, if we wanted to look at deductibles or, my deductible with the state is $2,500. It went up. You know, state employees no longer have, well, the state did away with, lifetime health insurance several years ago because of the cost of this.
Oh, well, excuse me, I hate to interrupt, but
No, sir.
I forget, we've got a state employee here.
Right.
And you're saying their deductible is 2,500.
2,500, yeah.
Are you having to pay anything toward that coverage?
No, you know, but your
far as
copay,
premium.
no.
Okay.
It depends, you know, then when you go to certain doctors, in-network, out-of-network, what you pay has increased or different, right? But everything's gone up. But, you know, if there was an option that an employee could select, you know, if an employee was, okay, I'm willing to have a $2,500 deductible versus a $1,500. But my whole point, I'm sorry, is just, if there's a moment in time that we wanted to come back to Mark III and said, hey, could you give us some options, or what would it look like? At what point would that discussion happen?
That would need to happen in the fall.
Be in next year,
Yeah.
next budget cycle.
Right, right. So we would need to look at going forward with something now for this budget cycle.
Correct.
Yeah, and if you didn't have your health savings that they have, I mean, to go towards their deductible, it would be a little bit different if they had to fork that out.
Right.
You know, and I'm on the state health plan too, so you get notices about the increases, but that, our health deductible's gone up too as well, you know, so.
Right.
Let me ask this, is there any way we could possibly get Mark III to give us some options
Yeah.
before our next meeting? No. You're saying they can't give us some options by our next meeting? One, the $50 plan, or two, the 8% increase across the board, or number three, increasing a deductible that would reduce the premium somewhat, or you're saying they can't do anything?
Changing the deductible would be a change in the plan in our agreement with Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Okay.
That would have to go to negotiation, and bid. I would
So
think.
if I'm understanding, our options are either this, either approve this plan of the $50, or number two, go to the 8% across the board.
It's already 8%.
That's already 8%.
This is the
Well,
same thing.
okay.
8% is the $1 million. Basically, $50, we're gonna pay half, and they're gonna pay half.
So eliminating the requirement that employees pay 50% of it, $50 per month.
That's the only thing you can do
All
until
right,
the
well,
fall.
either one of the two options. Am I correct? Those are the only two options we have.
Yeah, or some other combination of payment, yeah, if you wanted something else.
But you can't do none of that until the fall, though, what you just said a while ago.
What he's meaning is, I mean, we came up with the $25 per month to be an equitable, to consider
25 or
various
50?
pays.
25 per
paycheck.
pay.
25 per paycheck.
Oh, you
If you
said
wanted to
25.
do 10 per paycheck or 5 per paycheck, you could do any combination and then say, hey, let the county make up the difference, whatever that amount is. So you could do 8% all county.
Okay.
You could do $50 employee, $50 county, not changing the plans. You can include the dependent coverages, not include the dependent coverages. So we have lots of options. We just proposed this one.
Has the potential to cover the increase.
Because it's a 50-50 split.
Right.
Would the board be amenable to a $25 per month contribution by employees?
I would say we cover it this year, and then in the fall, we figure out something in the fall, as what you said a while ago, you got to come to them in the fall, right?
If
And
we want
give
to.
us,
Right.
and give us options, and then we kind of look at it from there, and that way, the employee has the opportunity to pick. I know that's when we work on somebody, I ain't talking about adding another employee either to do it. I'm just saying, that gives the employees an option.
Does that make sense?
So leave it as it is for this year and take it up for next year. Is that what I'm understanding?
That's my opinion, but I mean, I'm not,
All right.
I'm not in favor of, I mean, they've been hit like all the rest of us have, so.
Mr.
I
Chairman,
understand.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes.
What Commissioner Gurley's suggestion, that does not take any action. Because without action, we just continue as.
Oh, yeah,
You
we,
need to
we've
take
gotta
action.
take action.
You gotta get
You
this
gotta
in place
approve-
because open enrollment's coming
That's
up.
correct.
So they need to print the books and get everything ready for open enrollment.
That happened before the fiscal year. So,
Do I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
What move is, what motion is that?
The motion is that the county covers the 8% increase for this coming fiscal year of 26-27
With no employee
with
contribution.
no employee contribution.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Any discussion on the motion?
Restate that again now before I vote.
Oh, well, that's the case then.
So the
Just put it back up for everybody.
Just making sure I understand this. So basically, there's no employee contribution. It's just business as usual.
for 26-27.
So the county is gonna fund that approximately $1 million
Okay. So
increase.
basically, the plan stays as it is with no employee contribution. All right, I'm good with that.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yes,
are we gonna have Mark 3 at some point come?
please do.
Yeah,
And
that'd probably be a better way.
give us some options for the, I mean, I don't know if you can't make it too complicated, I get that part, but at least give us some options for the employees. You know, if they want to pay X amount, that's up to them, and if their plan is adjusted accordingly too. I don't know if you can do that or
we'll
not.
have to see how they,
That's fine.
will it be,
Whenever they come, just, you know,
yeah, we'll be glad to.
Healthcare is extremely expensive. And you're correct. At the rate that we are increasing, we're gonna shortly be looking at $20 million on an annual basis for self-insurance.
Look at our budget.
So it's something we've got to address. Okay. That said, county manager's report.
No comments, thank you.
Okay, and Board of Commissioners, committee reports. Commissioner DeMarco,
I have nothing for this, meeting.
Commissioner Acop,
Pass.
Mr. Foster.
Yes, I just want to give a shout out to the greatest high school in Wayne County, Goldsboro High School, Lady Cougars. They won a state championship. I think that hadn't been done at GHS since 1982. So, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, thank you, and adding that to Commissioner Foster, maybe we can invite the Lady Cougars basketball team to come, because I think that's a big accomplishment since 1982 to win the 3A state championship, and they did a good job and had a good season. Had the opportunity to attend the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners meeting with 3 of my colleagues and the staff here, had a good time. Learned a lot about the concerns of commissioners and our regional counties across the state. I know I mentioned it earlier, and I'm sure our chair will mention it again. None of us likes the word taxes, and we all have a concern right now with our General Assembly and the committees as what they may be looking for property taxes and potentially limiting county government with what they can do. I've had the privilege of sitting here with these 6 individuals now for over a year in this staff, and I feel pretty confident that I can honestly say that I think everybody in this room, our county manager, attorney, and our finance department looks really hard, just like our discussion that we had here on healthcare, and how we can be good stewards of taxpayer dollars in the county, as well as continue to fund what the state, as I have learned, puts mandates upon us to fund. with public safety and our emergency management departments and Department of Health and Human Services and animal control and all these things that we do, our sheriff's department, and keeping our citizens safe. So I know we need to talk to our General Assembly people and make sure everyone understands the importance of what we do as county commissioners when it comes to our local county government, and trying to be good stewards of our taxpayer dollars as well. So, but that's a concern across the state that we have. Got a wages board meeting coming up this week, looking forward to that as well, and report back to the board what's going on there. Again, thank you, congratulations to Goldsboro High School, and I hope everybody enjoys a great St. Patrick's Day today. We didn't really wear green except for our chair. I hope
And
everyone
it was
enjoys
so
St.
dark, you
Patrick's.
could barely tell it was green.
But thank you, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Gurley.
Thank you, sir. Lauren has left yet, our government liaison with Duke Energy. We're gonna set up a tour of their new facility at, off of Belfast Road, their operation facility, when it gets a little closer before the, ribbon cutting. I want to say thank you to the, all the Duke Energy crews and the crews from Mastech, being proactive this weekend on the project. We appreciate that. We appreciate them, responding to some emergencies, during the storm, that we've had. And the last thing, but certainly not least, continue to pray for our airmen, in the country and all of our, armed forces, but especially those from Seymour Johnson, that's in harm's way. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I want us all to remember Commissioner Antonio Williams. He has had an accident and a health issue, and is at Wayne Memorial Hospital. He's hoping to be released today. In fact, when I spoke with him yesterday, his comment was, "I'm not sure they're going to release me before the meeting in the morning." And I said, "Well, welcome to Wayne Memorial. You're not going to be out that early tomorrow for sure, if they do release you." But he seemed in good spirits, and they're hoping to do a number of tests and find out what medical issues he does have. We did have a groundbreaking for a new ag building at Wayne Community College. And you would think with Wayne Community College and agriculture representing our largest industry, that Wayne Community College would have had some ag building on campus many, many years ago. So
They do, they got two connexes.
They do. But with that in mind, that building will add a great deal to training our future farmers here in Wayne County and throughout the state. I'm amazed at the positive responses that we're getting from our property tax feature on our website. Again, I remind everyone, they can go onto our website, put in your address, and it will break down your property taxes that you were assessed last year and paid for last year, and where those dollars went. Well, did it go to public safety? How much went to schools? How much went to financing? Right on down the line. And I think it's a great program, and I appreciate the efforts of our staff of putting that together. My only concern is that we definitely need to put a patent on this so that we can market it, because other communities have recognized it and already want to copy it. So let's make a little money off of it. Let's make a little jing off of it.
I mentioned that to Kevin Leonard, by the way.
You did. Property taxes are a big issue. They really are a big issue. And I know politically it's easy to say, I'm going to cut property taxes, or I'm going to eliminate property taxes. And that's fine. I wish we could find a way to eliminate all property taxes. But what are you going to replace it with? You have to have funding to pay for public safety, to pay for EMS, so that if you are at home and 911, so that if you've got an issue, you've got to be able to call someone, and someone has to fund those operations. So I hope that we are able to work with the legislature to find a good balance. It's gonna be an interesting year on that. At 2 o'clock today, we are having a groundbreaking at Prolic GE Waukesha for a $140 million investment. Let me say that again. $140 million investment, 330 jobs, and those jobs are gonna be at an average wage of $70,000 a year. Now, the big thing here is this. Here we have an existing industry. They have been here for decades, years. And they chose Wayne County to invest an additional $140 million. So we're looking for big things to come, and we hope that some other industries in our community will expand. That's all I have, and
I got one thing.
Yes.
On that tax simulator is, I would ask that we look at putting some type of archive, feature on it, so the actual property owner can actually track what their taxes are from here forward by using that. And that way, that's about as transparent as you can get. At the same time, putting their property value that it was assessed at that year, and the next year the same thing. And as things fluctuate, as far as percentage wise, they'll be able to tell where their services are going, and it shows if we raise taxes, or if we, or if their property values go up or whatever,
well, they tell me.
or lower taxes.
They tell me sometimes to hush on certain topics, but that point brought up, I have a good friend of mine that has really lit into me in regards to his property taxes. And he, in his mind, is convinced, as he puts it, Joe, you raised my property taxes by 49%. And I'm trying to explain to him that, one, I didn't raise his property taxes by 49%. His property taxes did not go up 49%. His property value went up 49%. And there's a big difference here. So I hope people will kind of really look carefully at what, and I like your idea of tracking it, so they can see what they paid this year and what they pay next year.
Because that percentage could fluctuate on what,
Absolutely.
that's what it goes toward.
But again, I'll try to hush now. Do I have a motion, we go back into closed session?
So moved.
All right, we got a motion to go back into closed session for the purpose of,
Same reasons as before.
okay? I'm sorry, mine must not come back up.
Miss Barber, did,
I got it.
I got it, thank
But
you.
it's still, it's supposed to come back.
Get your e-book right there.
Where?
Here, put it down, y'all.
And we are adjourned.
We ain't
Are
adjourned
you
yet,
counting again? Okay.